these three organs will fail on you silently, and you will only notice when it is too late. So which organs are these? That's the heart, the liver, and the kidney. And I'll explain. So, the kidneys work by filtering out your blood using these tiny structures. They have millions of them, called nephrons. And you only need about 30% of nephrons to function normally without revealing any symptoms. And you need to have failure rate of more than 70% of nephrons for minor symptoms to reveal themselves. And for major symptoms to reveal themselves, you need more than 85% damage to your nephrons. And that means remaining with only 15% nephrons functioning. So this is the built-in redundancy that the kidney has. Despite that, also the other redundancy that the kidney employs is having two of them, so that one can fail while the other still functions, and you continue functioning normally. And that is why kidney transplants work. So kidneys compensate for failure by overworking the remaining functioning nephrons. So that gives you around 5 to 10 years of continuous disease process that leads to failure, either through hypertension or diabetes, before you notice that your kidneys are failing. So let's go to the other organ, which is the heart. The heart is another organ that tries to compensate for failure. So it does so by increasing its muscle size, and that is why it grows in size. So when it starts failing, it notices that it's not pumping properly. So it increases its muscle size so that it increases the force with which it pumps. Also, it increases its volume through that expansion so that it pumps more blood per stroke. And finally, it also compensates by increasing the rate with which it pumps so that it pushes out more blood as it works. So eventually, all these compensatory mechanisms will stop working, and that is when you'll start having symptoms of heart failure. The third organ that compensates for failure while it's silently dying is the liver. And how does it do so? So the liver is one of the most regenerative internal organs in the body, and it is very active in replacing dead and diseased cells. So let's say you drink a lot of alcohol, which damages the liver. The liver regenerates new cells very quickly to replace the old cells that have been damaged by alcohol. So this can happen also with other toxins. But every time you replace old and diseased cells, you create scar tissue. Eventually, this scarring continues and continues, leading to extreme scarring of the liver, and this is what we call liver cirrhosis, and it leads to total liver failure. Does it mean that the body is unfair to you by hiding these failures and worsening the situation in the long run? So the answer is no. Your body is actually not being unfair to you. It is being fair to you if you look at it from the evolutionary point of view. So in the past, when our ancestors were roaming the earth and there was no medical care, most of these conditions that we are talking about were fatal. So meaning you would eventually die from them. So at that point, your body was trying to extend the life of your ancestors by maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 more years. And maybe that's why you are here. In those 5 years, your ancestor could have gotten 1 or 2 more babies, and that could have conferred survival advantage to the population of human beings at that time. As you know, everything that happens within our bodies is designed to offer survival advantage to an individual and also to the community at large. Now, in modern medicine, it is no longer very advantageous to have these diseases hiding in our bodies and only noticing on the 5th year when it is too late. So as a result of that, it is always good to undergo rigorous testing, especially if you have pre-existing conditions, so that it does not sneak up on you. Now you know. Thank you.